Hey everyone, Michelle McCarthy here from Homeschooling in the Pines. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have my monthly video where I'll be sharing with you all my poetry, tea time, and morning basket books for the month of March. So let's get started. So for the month of March, we are going to be reading Elijah of Buxton, and this is the book that we are going to be pairing with the Arrow Guide from Brave Writer. And so far, we are in chapter 6, and we are loving it. It's about this little boy, Elijah. He is the firstborn free. He's born free, and he's in a settlement in Canada. So it's the story of Elijah. Okay, it's really good. I don't want to give too much away, but it's just an amazing book. And in the book, they talk about Frederick Douglass. In the story, it is nonfiction, but it's a historical nonfiction, and they talk about Frederick Douglass, and we haven't really studied him. So I got a couple books to learn a little bit more about him, and I found a book. It's called Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass, Two Friends. Okay, so it talks about the friendship between Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony. And the next one is Frederick Douglass, Frederick's Journey, the life of Frederick Douglass. Okay. And this starts from the beginning, from when he was a child, and it talks about, you know, his life. Okay. It seems like it's gonna be a really good book. It says here, Frederick Douglass was born a slave. He was taken from his mother as a baby and separated from his grandparents when he was 6. He suffered hunger and abuse, but miraculously, he learned how to read. Frederick read newspapers, left in the street, and secretly collected spellings from neighborhood children. Words he knew will set him free. Okay, so it starts again from when he gets taken from his family. Okay, and there's a couple pictures in here that might be kind of hard for the younger kids. They do show a picture of a slave owner whipping a slave, so that could be a hard picture. And there's another picture here of Frederick when he asked that he had enough from one of the slave owners, and they show here, I don't think he kills him, but it's more, you know, he hurts him and he beats him, and he said, I had enough. Okay, so these are the only two pictures that I think might be a little bit hard for the younger kids. You might have to explain a little bit more of what's going on in that time. But we haven't read this ones yet, so it looks like it's going to be a really good book. Next one we have here, I got this one for my son. It's called Pete the Cat. Big Easter Adventure. We are big Pete the Cat fans in this household, so I got an Easter Pete the Cat book for my little one. Next we have a couple of St. Patrick's Day books. This was called A Fine St. Patrick's Day. And it says, join the townspeople of Trally and Tralla for a fine St. Patrick's Day fable. Okay, so this one is more about a fable about St. Patrick's Day. Okay, next we have It's St. Patrick's Day. This is a level 1 reader, and what I do with these books, because I know they're easy for my daughter to understand and read, I use this for poetry tea time. Okay, even if they're easy. Talks a little bit about how people celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and even if it's an easy read, okay, I use them for, you know, poetry tea time, so it's an easy picture book. Okay, next I have St. Patrick's Day's crafts. We're not very easy things. Okay, so make some jewelry. See how easy that is with some pipe cleaners, and there's, you know, here to make some shamrocks with some construction paper. So I think those are things that I can do. So that's why I got a book. Maybe we can do this for poetry tea time or something. Next, I have St. Patrick's Day by Gail Gibbons. And this one's also about, says, in addition to the story of Patrick's life, here's information about how St. Patrick's Day is celebrated. There are decorations from shamrock to shilelagh. I don't know, is that right? People give cards, share meals, and wear green to honor Ireland, the Emerald Isle, and there are parades. Include our 6 legends about Patrick. St. Patrick's Day, celebrated March 17. Okay, so it's just about different legends and what people do in St. Patrick's Day, and why is it celebrated and how it's celebrated. Next one I have St. Patrick's Day, which is also another book here on just how people celebrate. This is more a short chapter book, and it talks about like St. Patrick's Day, what we know about St. Patrick. Patrick grows up in Britain. Patrick is kidnapped. So it's just story about St. Patrick, how people celebrate St. Patrick's Day. This one is a little bit longer. It's more about history of the holiday and the saint. Okay, so the next ones that I have are going to be about spring. It is not spring yet, but it will be spring really soon, and I'm really excited. So I got a couple books that we can use for our poetry tea time. Okay, first I have here is called It's Spring, and this one's by Linda Glaser, and I think they have a couple books. Linda Glaser has a couple books, one of spring and the different seasons. So see, a Linda Glaser appreciation of the wondrous workings of nature shines through in this unique celebration of the seasonal delight of beauty of spring. Okay, so it shows, you know, it has beautiful pictures, and it shows a kid doing different things in spring. It gives you a couple ideas about, okay, what kind of things to do in spring. Jump in a puddle, smell flowers, and at the end there is a couple of ideas of things that you can do with your children for spring nature studies. This seems like a really good book, and it's more like a picture book, but again, I use these short picture books for poetry tea time. So the next one is called Wake Up by Helen Frost and Rick Leiter. And this is really cute. It's about animals in spring, baby animals in spring. It says, come out and explore all the new life waking up around you. Newly hatched birds in the trees, tadpoles in the pond, and a newborn fawn in the woods. The world is wide awake. Are you? So it's just beautiful pictures. These are real pictures. How cute. Again, for poetry tea time. I use these really easy books for us to read for poetry tea time. Okay, my daughter loves animals, and even if she's 11, she's gonna love this book because she loves animals. Next one is called Spring, a haiku story. So this is called, this one has, each page is a haiku about spring. So here it is. Like it says, the snow thaws and suddenly the whole village is full of children. So it has a picture and a haiku on the other side. Next one we have is Spring Sprung by Lynn Plourde. And this one says, Mother Earth rouses her daughters March, April, and May. You must wake the world to start a new day. Okay? It says, but sisters March, April, and May begin quarreling. As soon as they awake from their long winter sleep, they're so busy competing with each other that they have forgotten that it is their job to make the world blossom into springtime. Okay, so it's April, May, March, April, and May arguing with each other, and they forget that it's spring. And they forget to bloom things because they're so busy arguing. This looks like a great book. Again, we'll use this for poetry tea. This one's called Ivy in Bloom, the Poetry of Spring, from great poets and writers of the past. And this one has a short story at the beginning, and then at the end it has a couple pages of poetry from poets from the past. Okay, and here in the back is a couple poems about spring from famous poets. Okay, next we have Spring Thaw, and this one said it begins with a warm wind late at night, sighing through the helm of trees. It's spring at time at last. As the sun rises slowly over the sleeping farm, small signs of spring began to appear. From roof-line curtains of dripping icicles to newborn lambs nestled in a mound of sun, warm hay to pale shoots of field grasses peeking up through the melting snow. Okay, this is it's a book about the beginning of spring and what happens in nature and what happens in our homes and what, you know, how snow begins to melt. And so it's a pretty cute book. Okay, so this is it. These are my choices for books for poetry tea time, my morning basket for the month of March, and I'm sure I will get more, and if I have time I will share those with you because I do want to get some Easter books. You want to say hi? Hi, I have my baby here. He never is really on my videos. This is Lincoln. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our homeschooling videos. Again, my name is Michelle McCarthy from Homeschooling in the Pines, and I will see you all soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye.